That's a really long question. Uh, and I have 5 minutes to answer it, but I'll be very frank and honest, because it's the Dawn Media Conference and they put me on the newspaper for the second year, and I received so many phone calls on the day that my picture comes in Dawn. So thank you so very much, Dawn, for that. Uh, we have to realize that in this country, because of increased urbanization and because of land prices going up in major cities and even in intermediate cities, by the way, you have to admit to the fact that now there is a very strong political economy of urban planning. We have not talked about it, we do not like to talk about it, but we have to admit to this fact that there is a political economy of urban planning. And the only way, sort of, to address this issue is to have that hardcore evidence through which you can make a judgment which is based on knowledge, which is based on skills, rather than which is being driven by different interests in this political economy of urban planning. And Dawa, you are right. We do have data, we do have evidence, but if you take the example of the Wabda building, which got flooded, the Wabda building was constructed 30 years ago or 20 years ago. At that time, it was not being flooded. What happens around the Wabda building is what Wabda cannot control. What happens around my grandmother's house is what I cannot control. And that is something which has to do with enforcement. And that enforcement, I think, I really believe, has to come from the local government system. And unfortunately, in this country, I think we have had a very checkered history as far as city leadership is concerned and city governments have been concerned. So till the time we make this pledge that city governments have to come into place and have to be truly empowered, these issues of previous housing schemes getting flooded or people building along the floodplains would always be there, because for a provincial government or for a federal government it is very difficult to have that type of a micro insight into a population of, say, about 125 million, which is the population of Punjab. About 45% of it is urbanized, large cities, intermediate cities, and towns. So it is very difficult for any secretary, say, for housing and urban development, or a secretary local government, a provincial one, to have that particular insight. So the first thing is obviously data, number one. But data alone is not enough. And right now, what we are experiencing all over Pakistan is because of this advent of technology, is because of this proliferation of GIS, now coupled with artificial intelligence. It is like drinking through a fire hydrant. There is so much data coming to us that we as the government and we professionals within the government are finding it hard to analyze, to decipher it, and then put it into form of information which is relevant for policy making. So the map is not enough. The map has to have a story behind it. The map has to have certain actions attached to it. The map has to have a relevance to policy. And for that, what we believe is that simply retaining data within the government perhaps would not be sufficient. It would take a long time for the government to build its capacity to do that type of data and data analysis work. And perhaps the governments are not even structured like that. And I think time has come for organizations like the Urban Unit, for example, Government of Punjab, to start sharing whatever data it has and to bring it into public realm. It was made out of taxpayers' money. It is a public good and it has to be brought forward. Unless that is done, the issue, this theory of change that we always have in our mind, that evidence would be brought forward and that evidence would translate into policy, it's not as linear as that, Dawa. What is really going to happen is that evidence has to be brought forward and it has to be made available to all those stakeholders which have a vested interest in that city, and I'm talking about the citizens of the city. Our recent experience with the climate action plan, which we did as a consultant for the city of Karachi, was a very, very pleasant one. in which we found the mayor of Karachi and its entire administration really engaging with us. So when you have a professional organization, technology, data, and a motivated city government doing this stuff, then you can actually come up with planning documents and policies which have relevance. And if it is a good planning document and if it is a uh, good policy document to start with, that would definitely have a much more robust impact as far as our traditional story about political pressures and the political economy of urban planning is concerned. Because we have been unable to do a good job at that, nature abhors a vacuum. And that's why you have so many vested interests, and this entire sort of the story of the urban landscape in Pakistan for the last 25, 35 years is not a pleasant one. You know, it is on the fringes of that shady area that we do not like to dwell on. But this is, this is the true fact. And I think, conferences like Dawn and what I have just, spoken is that evidence alone is not going to do the trick. Data alone is not going to do the trick. You need to have those institutions which are going to transmit it all the way to policy. And when it comes to data, by the way, now what we have started building a data infrastructure. Perhaps we as participants do not realize, but every subsequent Dawn conference, I can tell you from this point onward, will be more data intensive because there is much more data to be, to be shared and to be analyzed. But to build that data infrastructure, it's like a road, it's like an asset, it's like a public good. This is what the future role of the government has to be. And the second job of the government has to be is to make that data openly available. So there is more accountability of those local government organizations and of all those agencies which are responsible for the delivery of municipal services and having that urban habitat that we always dream of. Thank you very much.